Is moving forward with a water well replacement for Kunia Village.
It comes 3 years after the health department found toxins in the drinking water. Our Mahealani Richardson has the story.
Kunia Village is a former Del Monte plantation camp. The state says a project for a new well is expected to cost more than $7.5 million. Was selected to receive federal funding, and the more than 1,100-foot well could be completed in 2027.
In late 2022, the state health department discovered high levels of PFAS, potentially cancer-causing forever chemicals, in Kunia Village's well number 3, serving roughly 650 people. Toxins were also detected in well number 4, forcing families to drink bottled water for 3 months until a treatment system was installed.
They're basically laborers, and yet they are subjected to this substandard type of water, and it didn't seem fair.
Now the state health department says it's working with the Kunia Village Water System and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to develop a new drinking water well and treatment system.
I think it's a very positive reaction. I mean, I feel that this is good, that finally Kunia Village is having to have some independence with their water system. I mean, over the years, we've been very concerned, especially with the detection of PFAS.
The health department said as part of the Commission on Water Resource Management approval process to drill the new well, DOH reviewed a draft environmental assessment and anticipates a finding of no significant impact. In a statement, Stephanie Whalen, the president of the Kunia Village Development Corporation, said, quote, "When the well is finally drilled, tested, and through a regulatory process for use, it will have been worth the wait for the village to finally be in control of its entire water system, from the source through treatment, storage, and distribution." Kunia Village has a legacy of contamination. In the 70s, water and soil was tainted after a major pesticide spill. In the 90s, the U.S. EPA designated the area a federal Superfund cleanup site. Whalen told HNN, quote, "Each time contaminants were found, there was a resolution and good water provided to the best of anyone's knowledge."
The public can comment on the well project until November 24th. Mahealani Richardson, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you.